Hey, welcome to Game Dev Weekly. My name is Max and I'm the developer of Hydroneer. And this week has been a very busy week. I've just been getting on with loads of fixes and final little tweaks for the 1.3 update. If you haven't heard already, the 1.3 update is coming on the 15th of July, which actually comes really nice because it's a few days before my 25th birthday on the 18th of July. Everything on the update is going really well. I've been working with the community helper team and we're just finding bugs and fixing them, and it's shaping out to be a very stable update. There are a few small issues in the game, even though you'll be able to move your save files over from the 1.2 version to the 1.3 version without any issues. There is one small issue where sometimes for some users, some of the purchased land will actually count as unpurchased, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. But we may actually see that issue persisting through, as it's something that I think happened as a result of some dodgy code in 1.2. This is just going to be a really quick episode this week, more of just an update rather than anything else. I think what I'll do for next week's episode is I'll go through a lot of the big things that are going to come in the update that I've previously haven't gone over. There's actually tons of stuff on the list. You can see right here on this blurry image, everything at the top is the new features, then we've got the bug fixes and then the changes. So you can see there's quite a lot of things that are going to be different in 1.3, and I'm really happy with how this update has come out. I also have to do another tutorial video as well because I think the old one's getting a little bit too old and there's quite a few different things that have changed and it might look a bit odd looking at that old video. So that's something that I'm probably going to be working on next week. And I also would like to mention, if anyone speaks Japanese, simplified Chinese or Italian, that they get in contact with myself or one of the community team on Discord, because we're actively looking for some volunteer translators. Anyway, that's enough from present day me. Let me show you what I've been up to this week. So I don't think I've ever actually shown this off, but I do have some really cool developer tools that I use to shoot these videos and just to debug things a little bit quicker. So one of the first ones is just this thing where I can change the time of day, and it just skips it by an hour every time. So you can see it just puts it back and forward. This is really nice for just like taking really nice screenshots. You can see right here the color of the sky looks really nice when the sun's at this level, and kind of the same over here as well. It goes all the way through to night, and you can go all the way to any hour you want. So yeah, I use that when I record things. If the lighting looks a little bit too harsh, you know, if an area is looking a bit too dark or a bit too bright, then I'll just quickly tweak that. So that's a really cool tool. I also have one that makes me run super quick. This is a really fun one, especially if I need to, you know, quickly run over to Bridgeport or something. I could set up some sort of teleporting system, but I think this one works just as well. I'm sure in the future one of the modders will probably make something quite similar to this. But yeah, it's really fun to use if you just want to, you know, run around the area really quickly. This next one's one of my favorite ones, and basically if I hit this key on my keyboard, then I can spawn this floating camera. This is something that I do want to develop in the future into a screenshot camera, but I think if I was going to do it, then I would make it really advanced, you know, having your own LUTs, having the ability to change kind of filters on the camera, you know. So that's something that I'll probably put into 1.4, possibly, maybe 1.5. Let's see what happens with that. But you can also toggle the cinematic bars as well. This looks really good if you want to kind of just show off an area real quick using it like this. Really simple to use instead of setting up an entire camera system, especially when just shooting some video. This next little developer cheat I've got is a really cool one, and it ties perfectly into this because I'm just about to show you a new feature that's going to be in 1.3, which is highly requested. So let me just take this out of here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this key and it spawns all these resources. You can see in the top left as well, it's showing the name of the object, and that basically just tells me if the object is still moving, then I can see which one it is. I bet some of you wish you could have this in the game, don't you? Just the ability to spawn as many resources as possible. Some of them kind of fall out because the placing isn't exact. So I'm just going to spawn quite a few of these. Now what happens is when you pick up some of this, it does tend to lag a bit. And that's just because there are so many objects just being attached to this one object here that it causes these issues. Not really fixable. I'm going to see what I can do for the next update after this one coming out. But for now, it's just going to be like that. But for my computer, I can handle it pretty well because I've got a nice new computer that I bought with some Hydroneer money. But the thing that I really wanted to show off was what happens when you drop all of the resources that are inside this pan. Now, what would happen in 1.2 is that they would go absolutely everywhere. They would collide with each other and just bounce off the walls, and then you would lose a lot of resources. And I think some people even create drop rooms where when they drop everything out of the pan, they want to have it all condensed into one room, which I think is a pretty cool idea, but thankfully we won't have to deal with that anymore. So I'm going to drop these resources. There is probably quite a few hundred of resources in here. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm going to drop them out right here. So as you can see, it's kind of cool, not perfect. It does have that kind of what I call the popcorning, where it starts popping out, and that's because what's happening is when I'm dropping them out of the pan, none of them have collision with each other, but then as soon as they start to lock their collisions, then what happens is when they start to lock their collisions, what happens is they start to hit each other, and that's kind of what causes them to pop off. But what you can see is the spread right here is a lot better than what it would be beforehand. That's pretty much all I've got to show off with the new features this week. It really is just getting to the end of the update now and just getting all that polish onto the update, quality of life features and fixes. Thanks for watching today's video. I must also mention as well that if you are using any of the Hydroneer mods, then you will need to disable them for 1.3, as they probably won't work and may break the game. I'm sure the very talented guys that are creating the Hydroneer mods will probably update them in a few days after the update is out, but I just want to put that out there, that if you are using mods, then you may want to disable them. If you'd like to get these videos a little bit earlier, then you can join my Patreon for a minimum of $2. You can help support the development and also get these videos a few days before anyone else. A big thanks always to all my Patreons, and I will see you all next week.